The right running gear can transform your run experience. This year, I have bought 9 pieces that I don't know how I ever ran without. From clothing to nutrition, entertainment, tech and training aids, I reckon I've got it all covered. Well, let me share my top picks and the reasons why they've made it onto my list. There aren't that many running metrics that I use day in, day out. However, heart rate is one that I do. I find it's just a great signal of fitness and my effort level in training. However, I do have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with it, purely down to the data collection. So as a woman, when you're wearing a sports bra, a chest heart rate strap just seems to be really uncomfortable. I often end up with rubs when I use that too much. And when it comes to optical wrist-based monitors using a watch or something, it's just not accurate enough for me to actually use the data. Well, I must admit, when Coros came out with this, their arm-based heart rate monitor, I was intrigued. Will it work for me? Well, yes, it does. They do specify that it needs to be worn on the inside of your upper arm, and it's accurate. In fact, they have so much faith in it that this is the only heart rate monitor they do. They don't even have a chest strap monitor in their range. From one training aid to a very different training aid, headphones. Now, historically, I have really struggled with in-ear headphones. They just simply don't stay in my ears. Apparently something to do with having really small ear holes. But anyway, since the invention of Apple AirPods, it's been a bit of a game changer. I mean, I must admit, I can still do very long runs without any entertainment. That was part of having years of doing so. Yet now it means I can listen to a podcast if I want, or maybe even ring a friend. Multitasking and motivational, a game changer for me. If I could fuel all of my running on whole foods, I would, but there is enough science out there to prove that sport-specific, quick-release carbs are the way forward. I think it's time to introduce the Flow Gel from Precision Fuel and Hydration. Now, I have previously struggled with gels, but this is a thinner version that just is that much more palatable and great for fussy gel users like myself. And one of the best things about this, you can decant it into your own bottles, which makes it even easier for carrying. And that actually leads me on to the next item, the running belt. Now, previously I've used something called the Flip Belt, which was great for just taking my phone and keys in. However, I have found it limiting in the fact that I haven't been able to take any hydration with me. So this belt actually allows me to take a 500ml flask, either with some carbs in or just water, and my phone, my headphones, my keys, and maybe even a little whole food snack as well. We're now heading more into the comfort zone. The more comfortable your kit is, the more likely you are to want to wear it, and therefore the more likely you are to head out the door and actually get your run done. Now, I'm not saying that each of these pieces on their own are going to make a significant difference to your run. However, they will all contribute to your overall running happiness. Starting with socks, need I say more? I am a real sucker for a good pair of socks, and when you're doing long miles, then it's really important to get the right pair. And I must admit that I have different socks that I wear for different runs and depending on what shoes I'm wearing. But I've recently discovered these bamboo long technical running socks, and well, they're my current faves. I'm not from the school of thought of be bold, start cold, and as a result, I quite often overdress. Now, I find it really hard to get out of the door for my run if I feel that I might get cold or I might get wet, and that is a bit of an issue in the UK winter. Hence, why I really love this jacket. It is the Ultra Jacket by On, and it's super lightweight, but it's also waterproof. Admittedly, I usually end up taking it off after the first kilometre of my run and tying it around my waist, but it's so light that I hardly even notice it. And until I do manage to start bold, then it's the perfect solution for me. And then we have this beauty, a run cap, but not just a run cap, a fleecy warm one. Now, in the winter, I'm often struggling to decide, do I wear a cap to keep the rain out of my eyes, or do I wear a beanie to keep my head warm? Well, now I no longer have to choose. What does a kettlebell have to do with your running, I hear you ask? Well, for me, very little until the last couple of months when I've returned to running and upped my volume. My body has politely reminded me that I cannot neglect my strength and conditioning work. Now, if there was one piece of kit that could cover the majority of your strength-specific running workouts, it is this. But I'll let you choose which weight you think is most appropriate for you. Remember, don't be a hero. Consistency is always key. Well, on the topic of training, this final purchase is actually a virtual one. It's the RUNNA App. Now, this has guided me pretty well over the last 9 months. First of all, in my return to running after having a baby, now it's doing its best to get me ready for an ultra in just a few weeks' time. Now, it actually has a huge amount of races on its database, so you can simply click what event you're doing, answer a few questions, and then you'll have a very specific and quite bespoke program for you to follow. It doesn't have to be a race either. You can simply put in any running goal. Well, that is it for my list today. If there are any of those that have got you grabbing your credit card and going to have a look online, let me know which it is that have caught your eye, or if there's any products that you yourself have already bought this year and swear by, please share that in the comments below. But before you go, I've got a favour to ask you. We are really close to 1 million subscribers, which is huge, and we need your help to get us to that massive milestone. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please click that subscribe button. Thanks.